All right. Let me see if Alice can be pulled out. Okay, I'm going.你要用这个方向就直的，好 ，That's fine。横的话才会 fill 我的那个 picture in picture better。好，我现在把你放到，我现在把你 actually let me see if I could just do split screens because I don't need you to be。我这个讲义可能要做英文的，可是我有点觉得，要是可以用中文的就好，因为我其实是想要弄中文的，你知道吗？我比较想要用中文。好，我要把你放到我的 picture in picture macro 用它，哎。So weird， 不是 macro， 是 key C。哎呦，怎么这么大？哦，因为我刚刚放一个 macro， 你的脸面超大。Oh no， 不应该用 macro。等一下，macro。Oh boy 。他都把我的旧的 macro 叫出来了，就是变成你现在是。用那个时候在用均评课的那个时候的 macro， 看看可以把它变回去，变成是 reset 我的 mask， size position。How do I do reset? Oh boy! Now I have like you super big. Let me size. 哦，这样这个是这个的大小，不是它。那 mask。Oh no! How do I do it? 我的 macro 在哪里 ？Oh no! Okay, whoa, hold, wait. This is not how it works. Let me see. Size. 这个只是在讲 size of that. Position. That's not it. Mask, the top.I totally don't get it. OK， 我重新 recall 一下。Save restore， 我去 restore 怎么样？restore 会 restore 吗？Oh well. Oh no, what happened? Okay, 好，那我们再 try again. Key. Yep. So weird. Technology. OK， 好，现在你在我的上面，然后但是呢 ，the problem is if I have you there, how do I have people see my PPT? They can't. They cannot see my PPT. No, you have to. You have to because otherwise it's weird. Like, what's going on here? You know? OK. 好，我现在要做那个明天课程的讲义，可是呢，我一直很犹豫要用中文还是英文。如果我是用中文的话，哈，其实我真的负担是中文的啦，我真正的负担是中文。然后，可是如果因为我想人家参加 iHub， 应该很多人是听英文的，所以英文的话一定大家都听得懂。中文的话呢，就是比较是我的 native language， 虽然我还是可以用英文。好，那现在我先把这个，我要跟你 go through 一次这个课程，然后看看你觉得会不会 make sense。整个课程是1个小时，可是我要用一个很简短的一个版本给你。好，那我现在开始计时，看看我如果20 minutes 可以结束的话，就应该就可以了。好，我到时候会把它做成 PPT， 先走一次。好，这堂课程是叫做神国音响课程，英文是 Kingdom Sound Engineering。那我一开始要先来认识这堂课里的人，我想知道一下大家是从哪里来的，哪一些是从 FRCC 来，哪一些从别的地方来的，先了解一下大家的那个 location。 geographic location。然后呢，再来的话，我就是了解一下大家的 background， 有多少人是真的碰过 mixer board， 有多少人是完全不知道什么是 mixer board， 然后了解一下，然后再来呢，就是呢，我想要知道一下他们的 personality， 他的个性，觉得哪一些是比较是 shy 的，有一些哪些是比较勇敢的 outgoing 的，比较 talkative whatever，you know just get to know people's personality. Why is that important？ 因为等一下分组的时候，也不是等一下分组，但就是 in general， 但知道一下大家的我这群课程的人的 background， 他们的给我感觉一下，然后再来呢，就是我会分享一下我自己的 background。我对这些音控我接触过的，然后这一些我会提到我的一些什么 worship leader 的 history 啊，然后开始 Elijah Media JOS 啊，做 partner with 瑶瑶老师这样子，然后我就会 set 一个这堂课程的 purpose goal。那 engineers 都会知道一个 term 是 IEEE， 你有听过吗 ？IEEE IEEE 就是 IEEE。OK， 这是一个 acronym， 就是 engineers 人都会知道，因为这堂课竟然是叫做 Kingdom Engineering Class， 所以我就想说会有一些 engineers maybe I don't know， 只是说如果是 engineer 会知道 IEEE， 可是我这边的 IEEE 是 stand for Inspire, Educate, Experience and Encouragement。OK， 然后所以我希望这堂课可以达到这四件事情。那我们第一堂课开始的时候会是一个 introduction， 先讲一下 what is the role of a kingdom sound engineer。OK， 然后我就叫他们 tell their neighbors you're not here to press the button you're not here to press the button OK anyways 就是这个 engineering is actually more than just pressing button touching the faders 对不对？那我这里就设了3个 role。第一个 role messenger， 就是让这个 messenger 就是让 audience 可以听到神要讲的事情 What is God has to say。 The gateway 就是 help the audience 能够 have a heavenly experience and encounter。 Okay, bridge just let the audience know what's going on stage。 Okay， 所以 three role 都没有讲到 technical aspect， 没有讲到那个什么 volume 啊 EQ 啊 compressor， it's none of that。 因为 sound engineering is talking about a goal, it's talking about a 怎么讲，就是 it's a vision, it's more like it's a very I
didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Anyways, 就是 it's more sound engineering is not just the scientific, the technology part, the technical part. It's actually a very vision-driven role. Okay? Vision-driven role 就是我后面会 elaborate a little bit， 但是就是 it's a very important role. It's a very important role. It's almost like a worship leader. You know, it's not just a worship leader is not just playing instrument and sing songs, right? That's called a singer or that's called a musician. But worship leader actually actively lead. 这样子 actively. 好，那我要 talk about some of the challenges sound engineering 会 face. Sound engineering or sound engineer faces. 第一个就是 it's often neglected, okay? What neglected is 就是很多时候其实这个位置呢，所以我就会 ask people like how many of you have heard people say do you know how to play an instrument? Do you know how to play a song? Or do you know how to sing a song? If you don't, that's okay. You know, you can go join the sound team, right? How many people hear that? And you know, like and that's actually very it means that this position is neglected by many churches. Okay? Well, that might be true, right? If you don't know anything, you could still be a good sound engineer, right? But we'll elaborate on that. But I just want to emphasize that sound engineering is actually a very professional position in a worship team, okay? And we often just put a very unqualified or least qualified person in this most important position. And why is that? It's because we lack understanding of what sound engineering is. Leaders lack understanding of what sound engineering is. Okay? And so we don't put a qualified person in this position because we don't understand sound ourselves. Okay, that's typical. 就是第一个问题 the one problem we face is neglected. 第二个 challenge that we face is not setting realistic goal. 因为很多时候 there is no worship practice. I don't know, some church can just like, oh, there's no point. You don't need to do sound check. You don't need to do sound practice. You just go. And we just figure it out. 反正 you're just pressing button anyways, right? 但是就是 you're not setting a realistic goal. If you're not giving the enough practice time, or if you don't have enough time, preparation time, you're not going to get good results. Okay? Same thing as anything. 然后第三个 challenge 就是我刚刚好像有讲 lack of understanding. I think one of 这个 lack of understanding 比较是 same thing as neglected. So I'll put this in here. 因为我刚刚是讲我的讲义，所以有点已经 overlap. Okay, so 三件事情 neglected, lack of understanding, and not setting realistic goal. 这是我们三个 challenge that I'm laying out here. Okay, so we can reflect on that. Solution, I think first thing, the leaders need to be educated. But sometimes the leaders are so busy, they don't have time to be educated in terms of sound, right? So they need to identify a suitable person to be trained. Now, sometimes you don't have the so-called suitable person, right? You don't have the qualified person that you could actually, people are not here yet. You don't have this qualified person yet. Instead of just putting like anybody on this position, I think it's worth it if the worship leader or a band director can commit a season of their time to be trained as a sound engineer. Because then the worship leader or the band director will understand the language of a sound engineer, and in the future it will benefit their worship career in the long term. So it's not wasted time. It's not like, oh, 好像 lower your role a little bit as a worship leader, 现在变成一个 sound man. It's actually not that. It's actually you're helping to build the pillars of your church, the sound engineering, and you're increasing the quality of worship for the church. I didn't say that here, but help increase. It's not being sacrificial, but help setting. Maybe I should just go back to my live stream and write this down later. Anyways, 因为我在一边讲，我会有一些 inspiration, help setting. Okay. Okay, and then, so that's my solution sort of. 然后再来就是 let's talk about the requirements of a sound engineer. First, I think sound engineers have good hearing. Second, good logic. Third, good communication skill. Fourth, great character. Okay, and we can break it down a little bit. Good hearing, right? Obviously, 如果你今天 you can't tell if it's too loud or too soft, or you can't tell if a certain vocal sounds muffled or sounds too harsh, then you're gonna have trouble being a sound engineer. Good logic, because sometimes you have to make changes for the set. You have to make changes to your connection, or maybe you're troubleshooting some problems. You need to have very good logic and quick reaction, quick response, so you know how to fix the problem. And third, great communication skill. This is very ironic, because a lot of people end up being on the soundboard is people who are typically shy. They don't want to communicate with people. They don't want to talk to people because they're hiding behind this board. They're very far, maybe the farthest person away from the stage, so they're safe. But actually, to be a good sound engineer, you actually have to have very good communication skill, because you're trying to help the worship team to be the best they are. And you're trying to achieve that by giving them feedback, receiving feedback, and communicate how to work together to provide the best experience for the church. So that communication skill is so important. Okay, and sometimes you have to lead a team. You have to lead the team of your sound people. There's going to be multiple people working with you. You have to let them know what to do next. So the communication skill is very important. And then why great character? Because we were going to elaborate on that. Just you're not going to get much credits for being a sound engineer. You're only going to get like attention when you messed up, basically. Okay, so the character is going to keep you like really like you're going to be humble. You have to be obedient. You have to understand the worship aspect, and you have to be able to have very quick response and able to hear and all that thing. 我就用赞美等候谦卑顺服来形容我们教会的这个4个操练，就帮助你 achieve that character that's needed. Okay, and then next we talk about the strategy. We gotta have a strategy, instead of waiting for this like person to just like show up in your church, right? Which will take quite a bit of faith. I don't know, for a church to find this person. But instead of like finding the person who's qualified as like this position, I think it's a good strategy is to divide and conquer. Like you find different people with different gifting and you put them together as a team, and then they become a sound engineering team. And that's much easier to achieve and much easier to come around. Because first of all, you need to have a role. I mean, I'll break it into 3 roles for you. Okay, first role is sound director. A sound director, it leads a team. Understand the breakdown of this meeting, and able to cue the team and able to communicate with the worship band and the leaders and get feedbacks. Okay, so that's what the sound director does. The second person's role is called sound technician. The sound technician has the best logic, right? This person should be an engineering background or something. They can troubleshoot, they can help set up, they can help the routing, okay? They're able to, the person maybe to handle the wireless microphone. So to give to the right person, to get the mic back. So this person is going to be very, like good logic and very responsible, trustworthy, right? The microphone cannot go to anybody else. Have to be in the right person. All right. Thirdly, it's called sound producer. The person who actually mix the sound. This person needs to have good ear, good hearing, making good judgment, understand EQ, compressor, all that technical aspect, able to achieve a well-balanced sound so everybody can enjoy. All right. Now, of course, these 3 people work together. They all have to know each other's role, and they're able to work together. All right, so that's my general notes for the first class. How long was that? Well, the live stream is about 18 minutes, so I'm very good. Maybe I talk too fast because I'm going to have to elaborate. I also want to give people some time to respond. Okay, do you feel?
Peter?
Yes.
I liked the first 1/3 and the third 1/3. The middle part, well, because you talked about a number of issues which I think are important. But like, how do you think you're gonna? Because like maybe these people are like beginners and they don't know anything, and like how do you think you would go about talking to a beginner person?
Okay, so let me go back to this part. The first part you're talking about is called the challenges. Okay, the challenges for sound engineering. Why do I bring this up? I'm bringing this up so that people can have a new, they can have the right mindset. I'm trying to erase some of the mindset of the sound engineering being neglected the part. Why is that important? Because I'm hoping I'm speaking to leaders in the house. I think there's going to be some leaders in the house.
What? You're going to be talking, like, to everybody?
20 people.
What
So,
do you mean by leaders in the house?
就是 some of them are maybe leaders.
Oh.
I'm hoping I'm speaking to leaders. And if I speak to the leaders, that's what this part is mainly about. 可是为什么也很重要 for the new people to understand? Why is that important too? Because they need to know that this in general 就是他的这个 expectation 就是好像就像他被差派来的时候是说你什么都不会啊，没关系的，这个 mindset 可能让他觉得他不重要，可能他觉得 as a sound engineer or sound man, they usually call them a sound person, they maybe they feel like their role is not important in comparison to
就是觉得可能弹吉他比较重要，就是
台上比较重要。
你第一个不会，你第二个不会，你第三也不会，那你至少可以去做最。
对。So the reason why I bring out this as an issue or as a challenge is to let them understand that majority of church misunderstand what sound engineering is.
Okay.
So it's two sides I'm trying to do to create. 一个是要让他们知道这个 position actually is the opposite. It's actually one of the most. I don't want to emphasize on the most, but one of the most important role.
Yeah, it is one of the most because actually they're all important.
Yeah, they're all important. So this is one of the most important role. 然后还有一个我要讲的是为什么会变成这样子，是因为是 lack understanding. 因为 because the worship leader or 不是 worship leader 可能是那个 the leader whoever put people in the position because they don't have the understanding. They lack this understanding. 可是我不是在怪他们是 lack understanding. They don't have time for this, right? 所以需要有一个对的 leader 能够被 educate, 能够 understand, 所以他能够帮这个教会做 right decision. 不是说这个 leader 去学之后他 become the sound man themselves. 但是当他听到一些基本的 concept, 基本的了解的时候，他才能够知道把谁放在这个位置。Okay, so 所以我后面会讲 solution 嘛，然后 not setting realistic goal 的这个 part 我主要是 emphasize 就是说很多 worship team 他们都不做 practice 的，也不做 sound check 的。以前我们是这样，但是慢慢越来越了解了，现在慢慢有这个 practice。但是如果你没有要求 practice， 你就不可以要求有 good results 嘛。如果你没有一个你的歌如果没有 arrangement， 然后你硬要去 play 这首歌。你就不能够 expect good results 嘛？如果你没有要 practice 一首歌，你就要去带，那你就不可以 expect good results 嘛？所以就是一环接一环的，就是你要 set the right expectation, set a realistic goal. 如果你今天想要有 good sound, you need to have good sound system, right? If you want to have good sound, you need to have good sound person.If you need to have good sound, you gotta have good sound worship team. So the challenges for a sound engineer, they don't improve because they don't have practice time, and they don't have 你没有那个练习的时间就不会进步嘛，基本上。那你一个月只做一次，你就是很慢。那我这里也可以讲，就是 the realistic goal 是什么？我这里有写。You know what's a realistic goal?First 1 to 3 years, I consider just like you're just like getting to know what you're doing. The first 1 to 3 years, you're just getting to know. First 3 to 10 years is actually when you're starting to learn, like you're actually practicing like this craft. The first 3 years, you're figuring out what this thing is all about.3 to 10 years is when you're actually you actually get some hands-on and really like starting to improve and like it's like almost like you're like practicing, you're playing this instrument, you're playing this craft, or you're training, or you get trained, whatever. You're growing. I call it the growing phase. The third is the 10 to 20 years is called the passing it on， 就是传承，英文是叫做什么？
传承就是 pass the inheritance.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense here. So coaching, okay? So first 1 to 3 years is called like you're like figuring out. Is there a better word than figuring out? Discovering, very nice. Discovering, okay? Next 3 to 10 years is called growing. And then the 10 to 20 years is called coaching. You're becoming a coach. You're mentoring. Because you have to do this. You have to mentor because you're never going to get better if you don't teach people what you know. You have to do this. You got to teach people. And I think this is setting realistic goal. Just you got to prepare. You got to lay down 20 years of your life in order to even be good with this. Right? Unless you're like professional, you do this every single day.
No. Professional is people who actually did lay down 20 years of their life. You mean gift? No wait, talented or prodigy? Wait, no.
Sure.
I don't know. Some people, I don't know how they become so good. Wait.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. So that's the realistic goal I'm talking about. Okay. Realistic goal. Let me put it here. Challenges. And then so I think one of the other solution, I don't know why I didn't say it. It's right here. One of the solution is the sound engineers need to be treated as part of the worship band or worship team, I should say. Because worship team, I think it's part of. I think worship band is the actual instrument people and vocalists and stuff, but worship team is actually the video, the audio, the lights, all that is part of the worship team, I think. Yeah. Yep. So I think that's that part. 然后，所以你还有什么问题吗？或者 feedback 不一定是问题 ，suggestion。就是第一堂课，我只是 actually just laying down a foundation of what sound engineering is. I'm not planning to do so many technical stuff in the first class, the first session. I just want people to have the right mindset, right expectation, and let them know how important this role is. And if they have if they have the privilege to be in this position, they're not been despised. Like they're not been, hao jiang looked down. They're actually, God is trusting them with this such a crucial position. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just gonna work on the PowerPoint now. 好，你就想 All right. So I'm just going to I'm going to do it in a PowerPoint format with my bullets. That's what I'm trying to do.
Nice.
I hope I can sleep by 12. Tomorrow, my strategy. 明天我是预计说早上就把中餐就是赶快都弄好，然后差不多11点就吃午餐，然后让他们早点去睡午觉。因为我好像是就是可能2点半，就2点半开始到3点半。So I have to take them there. So I should try to leave by 2. Yep. 知道。
Yeah, maybe they can take a nap at 12.
That's my plan.
Maybe they can wake up early in the morning too.
Amy's asking me if I'm practicing. I guess 她在看我们的直播。
Practicing?
她在问我是 practicing for the 什么 intensive. Yes, Amy, I'm practicing with Alice. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so 我看一下，我要做一个 presentation， 简单的就好了，简单的。那我是在 practicing 啊，我就讲给你听，我就 practice 啊。
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a beginner.
Oh, Amy says Amy says she said hi on the YouTube channel. OK, 我看一下，怎么你说什么
I'm a beginner.
Yeah, you're a beginner. Yeah. How come I don't see Amy's? No, I don't see hi. Wait.
Beginner class.
You
Still a beginner.
you're a beginner
So
class.
we're talking about some vocabulary words, and it was a lot of vocabulary words.
好了，我这到底要用中文还是英文？我这是希望可以 narrow down 一个语言。Amy， 我没有看到你打 hi， 所以 What's wrong with my chat? It's not working. Live chats, all message are available. 没有啊，看不到啊。Amy, you want to try again? Alice, you want to type something?
What?
You want to type something on my chat?
No, I'm on the FaceTime. How do I type on the thing?
You have to log into the YouTube. It's not working.
On the other computer, but
Top chats. 可能因为 Amy 没有加入我们的那个，是不是没有 subscribe 啊 ？Amy， 你是不是没有 subscribe 啊？是不是啊？好 ，anyways， 好，所以希望我这个课能够有几个人能够被 activate。That's what I'd like to do.
Oh, I like your idea of having like sound director.
Yeah, sound director.
Like, yeah, I really like that because then I feel like maybe I could be a part.
Yeah， 所以说每一个人其实可以有一个 role 在当中，不一定你要一个 like 什么都有。当然你什么都有 is great，you know， 但是神喜欢我们是 like a body.
What role do you think I could play?
You can play. I think you have good. 你的耳朵很好，你只是不太会弄那个 knobs 嘛。所以，你如果多练习，你就有办法变那个 sound producer 啊。你如果多练习 ，Yeah，
What if 我不想练习？
那你就不适合在 sound engineering 发展，你就要在 worship band 上发展。
It's too complicated.
Mm.
And you said I'm good with hearing, but there's so many different sounds. It's hard for like my brain to like process.
No, I never said 你只需要其中一个东西，你就可以马上 become professional sound engineering. No， 那只是你在那个 position 上可以被 develop. It still take 3 years to be developed. You know? And you have a better chance to become good. 我再找一个 template， 找一个比较好看的 template。Let's see which one is better. 它有些 template 还会动。I'll just do this one. And my idea was 让他们去上 scan 一下，然后就可以直接 download 这些 notes。或者另外一个 idea 是因为不知道大家会不会有在专心听嘛，所以我就想说，这堂课堂结束的时候，你如果把这个你寄你的 notes 给我，你就会拿到一个 gift， 就这样，让大家能够那个，所以你就应该用中文还是英文？
you should find out what kind of audience you have.
我现在已经要做 PowerPoint 了。
I can't even read Chinese.
这个 idea， 2个语言都放上去，好。中文叫做神国音响课程，因为你知道吗？之前叫做 How to Run Sound 实在是太怂了，所以我就改名字。Session 第1课，帮 JOS 增加一些 activity， 不然的话我们实在太混了，太混了。
是混。
混就是没有在做我们的 part， 太混了。第1课，我要叫第1课还是第1 ？Say musicians behind the scene， 什么东西啊 ？Amy 在讲哪一个 ？Oh, we are a musician behind the scene. Yes, yes, that's true. Yes, that's right.
Like sound engineer is actually another musician.
对，所以我这堂课我是导师。原本在想说要直接叫姚老师来教就好了，但是这个是神给我的杯，我就要自己来喝，也是一个很好的 practice。第1堂，第1集，好，下一个 PPT New Slide。Amy 是不是半夜起来喂 baby 还是怎么样？不睡觉，还来上我的课？但是没有，我很高兴有多一些 input 可以帮助我预备，因为我你知道我在 babysit 5个小朋友，我根本没有办法专心预备，我都是抽空，然后 yeah Amy says that they need to have the mindset that they need to develop this craft in 3 years, at least 3 years. If they come once a month, it's probably like 3 years plus. 但是 yes, any instrument 嘛，对 ，any instrument 都是其实 mixing board is an instrument. 你看现在很多的 musician 他就是用 synthesizer 嘛，他就是在做一个那个什么，一个像 DJ 的东西，这个就是他们的 instrument 嘛。那这个 sound board 也是一样， you basically manipulating the music. Like 我这个 background singer 怎么走音那么严重，就把它关掉，那你就大家就得一致了，你知道吗？关了大家就哇呀，所以其实这个 role 是多么重要，有时候你就必须要狠下心，对。但是很多时候我知道啦，这个 sound engineer 就是很辛苦，因为他都没有被鼓励，所以我很希望 leaders 能够，我有没有写啊？我希望 leaders 他能够 ，I guess 这有一点像是 solution 之一吧，也不能讲 solution， 就是我的 prefix， 我就希望说能够 leaders 能够对于这个 sound engineering 更了解之后呢，他从心里面能够去 appreciate a sound engineer， 而且是去那个 honor 这个 sound engineer， 然后还有一个字叫什么？What's the other word I had？ 就是对啊，就是 honor， 然后还有就是 appreciate。There's one, I thought there was one more I put。我的 notes 被 delete 了嘛？respect。Yes， 我觉得这个是一个很重要 ，appreciate, respect and honor 现在的 sound man。你看，我不要这个 leader 去上这堂课，或者是上一些相关的课，回来就跟他的 sound man 说你哪里做的不好，哪里做的不对，那个谁谁谁说什么什么，不是这样子。真正的 develop 的方式是先 appreciate 现在的 sound man， 然后 identify 更合适的人之后呢，把这个人要开始去放在对的位置上面，然后跟现在的 engineer 一起的成长。因为现在的 sound man 我刚刚分的这3个 role 里面，一定有一个位置是他可以站的位置嘛。只是可能现在我们是把一个人当做3个人在用，所以 大家会成长的很慢，而且很 frustrated， 很辛苦，因为很多时候 logic 好的人，他不太会 communicate， 或者他不太会跟 worship team communicate， 或者是很难跟 leaders communicate， 因为他是 engineers 嘛，你们知道 engineers。那但是有一些人呢，他是耳朵很好，但是你知道吗？他完全不会，他的那个 像 Alice， 你就是说你的耳朵是很好，但是你可能对那个 logic 不好。所以今天叫你去 troubleshoot 的时候，你不知道；叫你去把一条线装起来，也不知道。所以我其实下一堂课，第2堂课给你一点点的那个 preview。
我觉得我耳朵也蛮好。
我知道你耳朵很好。我说第2堂课的 preview， 我就是要把他们分成3个人一组嘛。然后3个人一组之后呢，我会给他们几个操练，然后让他们去 conquer 这些东西 as a team。第一个就是我要让他们在这个 team 里面，他们就要去。他们这3个人一组之后，他们要去分析，就是例如说，我叫我的 assistant send 一个 frequency， 然后他们每一组要猜是几 hertz， 然后呢，他们讨论嘛，然后几 hertz 最接近的那一组就有1分嘛，对不对？那然后再来呢，就是第2个就是那个我会教他们怎么去做一些基本的，像卷线啊或者什么东西的，对不对？然后我们就让他们，我觉得因为很多人都没卷过线嘛，所以我就当下去教他们怎么卷，然后我们就会去接龙比赛，你懂我意思吗？就是三个人，我就一组分3条线，一组分3条线，然后他们就要接力嘛，第一个人跑过去，然后把它卷好，然后就赶快再跑回来，然后下一个人跑过去把第2条线卷好，再跑回来，第3个人，然后我们最后 time 说哪一组最快嘛。这第2堂课的比赛，那一定有一个人比较不会，所以他们就要先练习。然后那个 logic 好的，可能就教他们老师是说要这样子转，再这样转，因为我教完之后，他们一定很多人不会嘛，我教过太多次了，不然就是手拿反，不然就是线转反，不然就是搞不懂，然后就是 anyways， 但是他们3个都要会。然后呢，第3堂呢，就是呢，我会把一个很简单的 sound system 放在 stage 上面，然后呢，他们每一组要把这个 sound system 架起来，然后要能够让我，或者是我可能找一个谁来当唱歌，就是他要唱 I raise a hallelujah， 然后赶快再把上次把它关掉，然后线都要装好，然后再 neatly 把它放回去，然后这是第1个完成，然后我们就弹几分钟、几秒钟 whatever， 然后第2组再过去，再给他做一样事情，就是给他装起来，然后 I raise up hallelujah， 然后再关起来，然后顺序都要对，都不能错，然后分数最高的就有分，然后最后就发奖品。我现在讲了就不好了，就没人要来上了。对，我不能跟你讲。
你可以跟我说是什么颜色吗？不要。
Anyway。Yeah， 我们那个奖品要看人来的是多踊跃，我们有很多奖品可以发。OK，Amy 讲的很好。第1组，他说对第1组不公平，为什么？因为第1组会看到。就没有人可以看嘛。第2组要看第1组，第3组。我有2个想法啦，一个是呢，每个人都要转头，然后让第1组做完之后，下一组。可是呢，其实我的目的是要让每一组都能够有机会去看到，因为他多看。一方面他们很好笑，因为我跟你讲，这个游戏是这样子，3个人一组，对不对？3个人一组呢 ，sound director 他只可以讲话，他不可以动手的 ，OK。然后呢，那个 sound technician 呢，他什么都可以碰，除了 mixer board 不可以碰。那最后的 sound producer 他只可以碰 mixer board， 所以他们最后完成这个 project 是一个人只能动嘴巴，一个人只可以摸着其他器手，一个人是只可以碰这个 mixer board， 然后最后要让他 I raise up hallelujah 要结束成功。所以他们3个人是这样组，会很好笑，会发生很多事情 ，OK。然后呢，让他们一直看，他们就越来就是一会熟悉。那你说不公平，当然不公平啊！第1组很不公平，所以我是用抽的。你被抽到第1组，那就是这是你的运气了。你第1组你最辛苦 ，OK。第2组、第3组、第4组，最后1组，可是不一定照顺序最后1组就最厉害啊，不一定啊，对不对？你可能第6组也很厉害，第7组也很厉害，所以不公平是这样子的 ，OK，Amy 很在乎公平、公义 （righteousness）， 所以我要跟他讲一下我的 plan， 所以他才会心里平衡一点。
你会把这个录下来吗？因为听起来像那种。
有啊，有人会来录啊。那个 Alvin 每堂课都会有人来录嘛。我原本想问，我想找那个我们的小朋友帮我录的，可是他已经派人来录了，所以 我可能可以找小朋友帮我拍照吧。
这个听起来像那些 TV show。
对啊，所以我一堂课其实你看，我就把一堂课拿来这个，因为我不是讲 IEEE 嘛，IEEE，所以其中一个 E 是叫做 experience 嘛，所以这个就是让他们体验的其中一个，因为不可能3堂课之后就训练出一个音响童工的，不可能的。但是一堂课可以让一个人被 inspire， 然后觉得很好玩，然后很想 be part of this， 这个是目的。所以我们第一堂课是去招兵的。还不是开始练兵的，练兵是后面的事情。这个练兵就是讲你找到对的人，愿意被练，他才能够，你的时间下去才值得嘛。所以只是有一点点的 teaser 而已，一点点的这种，就是叫做 appetizer 而已啦。3堂课不可能做什么事情，而且才1个小时，对不对？那我教一大堆 EQ compressor 什么东西，大家头都昏了，根本就没有真的达到这个目的嘛。对，要让他们感觉一方面哇这么重要 position， 一方面好像不是太难 ，you know？ Yeah，
对，我觉得你给我那个 sound producer 那个 title， 我感觉很重，很厉害。
对啊，真的是啊 ，sound producer。Yep， 好啦，那我们就。差不多的，我要专心把这个字打好了，把这个东西打好。OK， 那你明天早一点跟小朋友打个电话吧，因为今天没有跟你 good night 到，还好他们今天没有跟我在那边说要打电话给妈妈，因为今天晚上其实回到家的时候，每一个孩子都有一件事情被我coach 了一下，就是呀。都被我 coach 一下，是的。好，那就这样子了，谢谢 Amy 今天捧场。I'll let you know offline. OK， 我要来停掉我的直播，3、2、1，拜拜。